we solved systems by substitution. Great way to solve. You get exact answers. Okay, the thing I like about substitution and solving any algebraic method, you get exact answers. You get the correct answer. You get X is this, Y is that. Exactly. It's not like guessing like you get with, or I should say, approximations that you usually get with graphing. Today we're going to solve by elimination, and we're going to break elimination into 2 days. We're going to do 1 day today. It's all adding and subtracting. On Monday or Tuesday next week, depending upon what I decide to do on Monday, we're going to solve by elimination, by multiplication first. Okay? So elimination works only under particular conditions. Right? What you looking for? Turn it in right up on top. See where it says inbox? Right up on top of all that big pile. Okay. I gave tests to my Algebra 2 kids. They have note packets like you have. So all 4 of my Algebra 2 classes all turned in note packets. I got this like a big giant stack. Okay. So in order to do elimination, and this is important, the variables, equal signs, and constants must line up. Your x's, your y's, your equals, and your constants must line up. They don't need to be in that order, but x needs to be over x, y needs to be over y, equals over equals, number constant over constant. They don't need to be in that order that they're in here. They will almost always be in this order, but they don't have to be as long as they line up. Okay? You're going to like elimination, particularly what we do today, because the first step is very easy. Okay? And you're going to say, well, why do I have to do substitution if I can do elimination? Well, elimination doesn't always work. Substitution will always work. There are times when your equations are more complicated than the equations I give you in this class, and substitution is the only method to do it. Okay, so you have to know how to do substitution. And I'm telling you now, and you need to listen closely. On your test, if I tell you to use a particular method to solve an equation, you must use that method or you will get a 0. If I say solve by substitution, you must solve by substitution. I don't care if you get the correct answer using a different method, you will still get 0. It's not just about getting the answer. It's making sure you can give me the correct method as well. You have to show me you know how to do it in different ways. More than one way to solve the problem, you need to show me all the different ways. And I will give you a 0 for a problem that you get the right answer on if you use the method, did not use the method I told you to use. Okay, I've been doing this, like I said, for a long time, and I've got a lot of kids don't believe me. They get 0s on, they end up failing a test because they didn't bother to pay attention to my instructions. Didn't listen to me. I'm just telling you right now, I mean that. When I say something like that, I mean it. Okay? I have no problem. Oh, they didn't follow directions to get a 0. Okay? So, these first set of problems are all about addition and subtraction, and here's what elimination is. Now, on the ones that are on this front page here, we're not going to solve them completely, but I do want to show you the basics of what we're talking about. If I take these 2 equations and I add them together, x plus 4x. What's x plus 4x?
5x.
5x. What's 2y plus negative 2y?
0.
0y equals, what's 10 plus 5? 15. Look, I had 2 equations, 2 variables. Now I have something really easy to solve to get my x. So I'm not finishing. We'll do that on the next page. But this is what elimination is. We are eliminating one variable. I eliminated y. Okay? If I do the same thing on the next one, if I add them, negative 3x plus 3x. 0x's, I've eliminated x, no x's. Y plus negative 2y. Negative 1y. 4 plus negative 14. negative 10. Watch your positives and negatives. That's the place where people are going to screw up the most. And here's the one that's really going to mess you up. Okay, if I add these, 6 plus 3 gives me what?
9.
4 plus 4 gives me 8. So adding won't eliminate something, will it? If I add them together, nothing disappears. To eliminate, one of the two variables needs to go away. So I have to subtract. And remember, I'm subtracting everything that's in here. 6 minus 3. What's 6 minus 3? No, it's not negative 3. It's positive. It's 3x. 4 minus 4. 4y minus 4y. 0y equals 6 minus negative 3. This is the one that's going to screw everybody up. 6 minus negative 3. Look at the board. 6 minus negative 3 is 9. Okay, you absolutely have to be careful because this is where almost all the mistakes come from. Nearly every single mistake comes from here. Okay, when you're subtracting, that's the worst one. If you're careful, do what I did. If you're not sure, write the problem off to the side and do that. Makes it easy. Okay? But the idea is, and here's the important thing, we're trying to eliminate one of the variables. One of the variables goes away. X or Y will disappear. We're eliminating it, either through addition or subtraction. Today is all addition or subtraction. Now, none of these problems are complete. All I did was the first step. But that first step is an easy one. Okay? So, let's do this example together. I have two equations, and I'm going to use elimination. What's my solution in the system? Here's what I decide if I want to do addition or subtraction. What's easier, addition or subtraction? Addition. Always try that first. And mentally, I can do it in my head. 2 plus 6 doesn't get rid of my x's. 5 plus negative 5, yeah, that'll get rid of my y's. I have two opposites. I want to add. So that's what you do. You add the two equations. 2x plus 6x equals 8x. 5y plus negative 5y, no more y. 17 plus negative 9 is 8. Now I need to solve for x. Divide both sides by 8. X equals 1. Okay. Am I finished?
No.
Because what else do I need? How many variables do I have to start with? 2. I need 2 in my answers. I've got 1. I need to find the other one. So here's what I do. Do a substitution. You will still have to substitute, but you just take this 1 here, take this x equals 1, and put 1 in here or in there. It doesn't matter which equation you use. I'd use the top one because I got a plus 5y instead of a minus. 2 times 1 plus 5y equals 17. So 2 plus 5y, right, equals 17. Subtract 2. 5y equals 15. Divide by 5. Y equals 3. X is 1, y is 3. I do like this a whole lot more than substitution. It's easier, especially that first step. Solving for that first variable is a lot easier, right? Less chance for errors and mistakes. So that's what I do. I like that. Okay. Questions? Okay, do the next two. I have some other things today other than this. Okay. Okay. Guys. So here we go. First one. Add them together. 5x plus 3x, 8x. Negative 6y plus 6y. Y's are gone. Negative 32 plus 48 is 16. Yeah. So 8x equals 16. Divide by 8, x equals 2. Okay. Yeah.
It's a joke. Oh, it's funny.
Yeah. Guys, focus. X equals 2, I need to solve for y. I can use either of the first two equations. I'm going to use the second one. Doesn't really matter. If you do it right, get the right answer. With the second one, they're all positive. 3 times 2. Stop playing with the desk. Equals 48. 6 plus 6y equals 48. Subtract 6. 6y equals 42. Divide by 6. And y equals 7. X equals 2, y equals 7. Okay. Second one. Negative 3x, positive 3x. Once again, add them together. Negative 3 plus 3 gone. And negative 3y plus negative 4y, negative 7y. 9 plus 5 is 14. Divide both sides by negative 7. And I get y equals negative 2. Now, once again, I can plug it into either equation. If you didn't plug it into the one that I did, you did a different one, you should still get the same answer if you do it correctly. I'm going to take it, put it in the second equation because I have positive 3x. 3x minus 4 times negative 2 equals 5. So I get 3x plus 8 equals 5. Because negative 4 times negative 2 gives me positive 8. Subtract 8. 3x equals negative 3. Divide by 3. And x equals negative 1. Okay. Questions? Gentlemen? No. Okay. Questions on this? It's pretty easy, isn't it, right? Especially that first step. I like elimination. I like elimination by addition because it's the easiest thing to do. Okay? Now we're stepping it up to subtraction. And I did 2 sample ones and then 2 for you guys because I want to be clear on the subtraction part because a couple of these can be difficult. Okay. Now, when you are solving a problem, doing elimination, the easiest thing to do is add. So I do, if I add them, will something go away? 2x plus 4x, no. 3y plus 3y, no. In order to eliminate by addition, I have to have 2 things that are exactly opposite. I don't have 2 things that are exactly opposite. I have 2 that are exactly the same, so I subtract. Now, pay attention carefully, because this is where the mistakes happen. This is where the mistakes happen. Gentlemen. Okay. 2x minus 4x. 2 minus 4. What do I get when I do that? I get negative 2. Watch your negatives and positives. Negative 2x. 3y minus 3y, they're gone, equals 1 minus 5. 1 minus 5. Negative 4. Divide both sides by negative 2. X equals 2. Okay. Now, I can solve once again, I got to put 2 in either equation. Either one doesn't matter. I'm going to put it in the top. 2 times 2 plus 3y equals 1. 4 plus 3y equals 1. Subtract 4. 3y equals negative 3. Divide by 3. Y equals negative 1. Okay. Your first step. Can I do it by addition? If I can just add the 2 together and eliminate something, that's what I want to do, because that's the easiest. If I can't, then I don't. If I add these, it won't go away. If I add these, it won't go away. So I have to subtract. Okay. Negative 2x minus 2x. If I'm subtracting something from itself, that gives me 0. So my x's are gone. The y's are where it's going to get tricky. 3y minus negative 4y. 3 minus negative 4. 3 minus negative 4 is 7. Watch your signs. 7y equals, and I have 11 minus negative 10. 11 minus negative 10?
41.
21. Watch your negatives. And notice what I'm doing. I'm writing off to the side. Feel free to do that. If I do it, it's something you can do. You don't have to, but you might want to do it to make sure you don't screw up. So I get 21. Divide by 7, and I get y equals 3. Okay. Now I have to plug in the y into either equation to solve for x. Negative 2x plus 3 times 3 equals 11. Negative 2x plus 9 equals 11. Subtract 9. Negative 2x equals 2. Divide by negative 2. And I get x equals negative 1. Watch your negatives and positives. Watch your negatives and positives. They're easy to screw up. Okay? Your turn. Do these two. Roll tape. Here we go. Okay. So once again, I have two that are exactly the same. So I'm going to do subtraction. 4x minus 3x is x. Oh, it's sweet when that works out that way. Negative 6 minus negative 6 gone. Negative 4 minus negative 6. Negative 4 minus negative 6 is what? Keith. Negative 4 minus negative 6 is what? No. Anybody else want to hazard a try? Correct answer.
Positive 2.
Positive 2. X equals 2. Okay. So that was actually nice. I'm done. X equals 2. That gives me that. I don't have to do any division. I don't have to make any more steps. It makes it nice. Take 2, plug it into either one. I'll put it in the top one just because I like doing that. 4 times 2 minus 6y equals negative 4. 8 minus 6y equals negative 4. Subtract 8. Negative 6y equals negative 12. Divide by negative 6. And I get y equals 2. Second one. Same thing. Do subtraction. Do I need to have a seating chart to separate people? Because I will. Keith. Okay. And Cola Luke, that goes for you, Chuck.
Sorry.
Okay. 3 minus 3x, gone. Negative 2y minus 4y. Negative 2 minus 4. What do you get? Negative 2 minus 4. Negative 6y equals 1 minus negative 11. 1 minus negative 11. You get 12. Bless you.
Thank you.
Divide by negative 6. Y equals negative 6. Y equals negative 2. Plug negative 2 in either one. So I'm going to plug into the top one again just because I feel like it. 3x minus 2 times negative 2 equals 1. 3x plus 4 equals 1. Subtract 4. 3x equals negative 3. Divide by 3. And I get x equals negative 1. Questions on those? Fairly straightforward. Add or subtract. Okay. Sometimes I wonder. Other times I know.
Other times I know. Get wrecked, Luke.
Okay.
You stop calling.
3 more problems. Okay, shh. 3 more problems. Either add or subtract. Do what's necessary. Solve them out. Let's finish these up so we can move on to the next thing so we have time to talk about the next thing that's also important. Okay. So I look at these equations and I need to decide, do I add or subtract? On the first one, I have two that are exactly opposite, two exactly the same, so I subtract. Okay? 5x minus 5x is gone. Negative 2 minus 3, negative 2 minus 3, negative 5y equals 11 minus 21, 11 minus 21, negative 10, divide by negative 5, y equals 2. Plug 2 in for y in either equation. I'm going to do the bottom one this time. 5x plus 3 times 2 equals 21. 5x plus 6 equals 21. Subtract 6. 5x equals 15. Divide by 5. X equals 3. So the first one, I had two exactly the same, so I subtracted. Second one, I also have two exactly the same, so on this one I'm also going to, so on this one I'm going to add, I'm going to subtract because I have two exactly the same. So I subtract because I have two exactly the same, my bad. So I subtract. 2 minus 5, negative 3x. Negative 3 minus negative 3, anything minus itself is 0. Negative 1 minus 7, negative 1 minus negative 7 is 6. Negative 1, and then you change the double negative, right? So you get negative 1 plus 7 is 6. Divide by negative 3. X equals negative 2. Plug the negative 2 into either one of them. I'll put it in the top. 2 times negative 2 minus 3y equals negative 1. So negative 4 minus 3y equals negative 1. Add 4. Negative 3y equals 3. Divide by negative 3. Y equals negative 1. Negative 2 and negative 1. Okay. Now, shh, guys, gentlemen, okay, last problem.
Wait.
I can do addition or I can do a subtraction, right?
Yeah.
I can do either one. What's easier? Addition. So I'm going to add them both. So I get 6x equals 12. Divide by 6. X equals 2. Now, I have a choice. Listen closely. I have a choice. I can take 2 and plug it in for x and solve for y. Or I can say, hey, why don't I do subtraction and do the same thing? So if I had done subtraction first, watch this. Let me get this set up here, get a little room. Okay. So if I take the problem again, 3x plus 4y equals 2. 3x minus 4y equals 10. If I take the problem again, and instead of doing addition, I do subtraction, 3x minus 3x, x goes away. 4 minus negative 4, I get 8y. 2 minus 10 equals negative 8. Divide by 8. Y equals negative 1. If you substitute it and solve for y, you'd still get negative 1. It doesn't matter. If I had done subtraction first and got negative 1 for y, put negative 1 in for y and solve for x by substitution, I still would have gotten 2 for x. It doesn't matter. There is more than one way to solve a problem sometimes. I don't care how you solve this using elimination. Just use elimination for your first step and go from there. And because you had a choice, you could have subtracted or you could have added for your first step. It didn't matter. Okay? I do believe that's it. Okay. So let's